Hi there, and welcome to another episode of the Sliced Bread. So, in this episode, I thought I'll take a look at the recent news that Google released today that there would be choice of browsers for Android users who are setting up their phones. Now, this was done mainly in response to a lawsuit in July 2018, where FairSearch, a coalition of businesses that helped launch an antitrust suit against Google, very similar to the one that Microsoft faced back in 1998, and then Microsoft back in 2010 had to actually release a website called browserchoice.eu where users of Windows could actually go in and download an alternate browser if they chose to do so. So today Google released screenshots of their of how they were going to approach this problem and how they were going to give a choice of browsers to users as they're setting up their Android phone. Android is actually forked by companies like Samsung to be put on their phones. They will release that to their users. Now, when the users log in, they actually get Chrome as the default browser, and they could then switch to a Samsung browser, but you can never uninstall the Chrome browser. So a little bit of history on this. In 2004, Internet Explorer's market share peaked at 90%. And these are some of the efforts in order to make it a level playing field for third-party browsers like Mozilla's Firefox to actually compete with Internet Explorer. So in a very similar way, FairSearch has come together in order to ensure that there are other browsers out there like Opera or Firefox that could be installed by users. But because most of the users are generally happy with Chrome, they don't really look to switch to any of the other browsers, and that has resulted in close to 60% market share to Google's Chrome browser on Android. In order to curb this is one of the reasons why FairSearch actually launched this antitrust lawsuit. Now, I think this is a smart play, in my opinion, by Google in order to provide the choice of browsers. But to be honest, I don't think they're doing exactly what the ruling asked them to do, which is to stop forcing manufacturers like Samsung to include Chrome browser firstly, and secondly allowing users to actually uninstall. I think not making it mandatory to install Google Chrome on what is essentially a Google's OS, even though it's open source, is a bit of an extreme step. And for that, I believe Google has actually done the right thing by giving a choice of browsers for users to choose from. These browsers need to be downloaded. They're not pre-installed, so you cannot just simply switch to a different browser like you probably would do for a search engine. And B, you still cannot uninstall Google Chrome according to the press release from today. So this all means that we're pretty much in the same situation. It's just that they have more choice. But if you had searched for browsers on the Play Store today, you also had more choice. So it's not really that big of a difference between the two sort of approaches. One is obviously available at the beginning of launching your phone. I get that, but then you're not exposed to that interface after you've actually gone into your phone. So in many ways, it feels like Google did not comply with that ruling from July 2018. But at the same time, it does look like they're giving more choice. What may have been a middle ground would have been to have the ability to uninstall Chrome from the OS. Once a user has installed, let's say, a full Mozilla Firefox and wants to uninstall Chrome just because it's lying there as an extra application, that would have probably been a better choice. I'm sure there are going to be advanced users who will brush aside this, and if they are Firefox fans, would continue to use Firefox and not open Chrome at all from the browser. But we need to understand from Google's point of view that one of the biggest revenue sources indirectly is the amount of data that they're collecting. So with the help of Chrome and with the help of other applications that they're using, they're able to track users' behavior and being able to show targeted ads. And we've seen various lawsuits on how they're able to collect that data and the privacy concerns around that. So it does make sense from Google's point of view. But providing that option to uninstall may just provide the middle ground that we're looking for when it comes to FairSearch. So that has been this episode of Sliced Bread. See you next time.